got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Bills going up against the Broncos. With that, let's go out to Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Here's Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building as we come to you from Sports Authority Field at Mile High here in downtown Denver. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. They'll run with Thompson, and he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. On second down, Lynch. A dump off to Anderson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves its sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Being chased out left. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. And here's our first look today at this offense.
And let's start with LaShawn Shady McCoy, their star running back. He can do everything. Run it inside, get to the perimeter, and, of course, catch it out of the backfield.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
On first down, it's Taylor. Forced out to his left. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
On second down, here's Taylor. Incomplete. He was trying to get it to LaShawn McCoy, and it's third and short. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
I love watching T.J. Ward play. Whether it's covering in the deep zones or blitzing, this man makes plays.
Third down and 3. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. Yeah. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. They'll see if they can pick it up here with a fullback Felton. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, there was a trust factor in that call. Turning and handing it to the big man in the backfield, trying to pick up the first down. But how about the defense? They were ready for him, and they were able to stop him.
LaShawn McCoy unable to get to the marker. And the Broncos will take over on downs. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And I don't want to say that this offense starts and ends with Demaryius Thomas, but sometimes it starts and ends with Demaryius Thomas.
There's no reason you can't say it if it's the truth. He is the alpha and the omega of the receiving corps.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And some room to run now. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy
looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Bills getting set to go. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. On 2nd down, Taylor steps away to his left. Looking sideline, incomplete. Taylor now to throw on 3rd down. He's got time in the pocket. And he's got his man. It's the tight end, Clay. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. Taylor hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. They come out here in the eye. Now Thompson working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Lynch to throw. And Green with a catch left side. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. On second down, here's Lynch. It's caught by Sanders. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Second and goal now from the 8. Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have?
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. This one from 35 yards away. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And the Bills' offense comes out ready to take over. They go back to the air here after the INT. Man open right side, it's the tight end Clay. That one goes for 24 yards.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Looking this time for ones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one that goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3. Except
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Corbin Bryant able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. So the defense gets to the quarterback. Now the offense backed up on second down. On second down, Lynch buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for third and 4. Green with a catch left side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They come out here in the eye. Running for it. Here's Anderson. And a cut to the sideline. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 22 yards on the pickup there. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Throwing here, Lynch on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Lynch looking to throw on second. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Adolphus Washington in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. So a big sack on second down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for third. 3rd and 2. Now Lynch dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kyle Williams in there to drop him. And back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. And McManus able to put it through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now the Bills' offense gets ready to head back onto the field. One man in the backfield. That's McCoy. They'll get the football here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Doesn't matter who the runner is going to be each week. Defenses get ready to gang tackle. They want multiple people to the ball. They want to make sure they take the proper angles to the runner, make sure there's no place for him to spin out and go what they call through the back door and get away from people. And they want plenty of guys there to hit him, try and knock the ball free, the whole deal. But on that play, the best laid plans did not work.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Try to lay one up deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. From the gun, it's Taylor. Right side complete. That's Woods. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Taylor on first down. And Woods has it complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now a first down following that long gain. Taylor will throw again. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Throwing again, it's Taylor. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Here's Taylor, and that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll go again to McCoy. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Couple of Broncos there in on the tackle.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. Oh, he's got it going early in this one. That's the Shady McCoy. That's vintage right there, right? Breaking tackles, creating explosive runs. And if they don't take care of this early, look out. This guy's going to have a big, big day.
You know where he got that nickname Shady, by the way?
I know you're going to educate me on it. Help me out.
Mama gave him that name when he was a youngster.
And if Mama named him Shady, we're going to call him Shady.
Absolutely.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They come out here in the eye. Here's a carry now for Mike Gillisley. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Mike Gillisley, 43 yards. And the Bills have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams...
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Lynch. Adolphus Washington getting him once again. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. On second down, here's Lynch. Being chased out left. Left side here to Sanders. The 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. On second down, here's Taylor. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They go play action with Taylor. Steps away. And this one is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They come out here in the eye. They run it here with Thompson. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Big boys down there in the trenches in a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you talk about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
And a cutback, right sideline. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain there on 3rd and long. 31 yards. They run again on first down. Anderson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Now they'll look to throw it with Lynch. Forced out to his left. It's caught by Sanders. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And it's incomplete. Virgil Green is tied in the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
Back to the ground, Anderson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. That second down run a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Lynch now throwing on 3rd. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And McManus able to put it through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And now out come the Bills. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, You got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. On second down, it's McCoy. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll go with McCoy. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They'll give him a yard on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Taylor. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, that was pretty nice to watch if you like a defense's perspective because they understood where the first down line was as much as the offensive guys did. Did not give up any more ground, and when the ball was thrown, reacted really well and swatted it away. One of the advantages of zone defense, you never take your eyes off the quarterback, and when he reacts, you do exactly the same and go get the ball.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th down with Taylor. And this is incomplete. Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They pitch it out to Anderson. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets them a new set of downs. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the stick.
An excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 2nd down following the run. On 2nd down, Lynch. That's complete right around the 8. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On third down, Booker stiff-armed him. And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed out. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to sneak with Lynch. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
Well, they won't get the touchdown, but they'll get the next best thing as they're able to convert on 4th down, and they'll be left with a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
1st and goal. Defense with their backs against. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. C.J. Anderson taking it in. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And here come the Bills. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Taylor will throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on, and it's 2nd down. 2nd down following the incompletion. From the gun, it's Taylor. Steps away to his left. And he comes back with one complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Now it's Taylor. Right side complete. That's Woods. And he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple. And they're going to speed things up here.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Taylor on 4th down. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Now Taylor sliding out of the pocket. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I's, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before, getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. LaShawn McCoy, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bills have cut it to within a score.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Again, Anderson. They find some open field here. C.J. Anderson. And all the way home for a Broncos score. C.J. Anderson with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. First and 10, it's Taylor. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done. One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there. Taylor to Watkins. 59 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. They decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
Second and 10, it's Taylor again. And this is caught, and he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Taylor will throw again. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part one of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. So he needed it to travel 10. It did not, and it's an automatic penalty. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Toss play. This is Anderson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll give it to him right up the gut. So a nice job to break. Now the Bills will take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. They'll pitch it to Booker. And he is going to lose yardage here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And McManus able to put it through, and that'll push the lead up to 8. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll put it out to the 25. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation? Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. One last shot for Taylor. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular
everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Bills going up against the Broncos. So let's get you out to Denver for the call of our game. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets the tone for the offense.
And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Lynch. And some space here. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On 2nd down, here's Lynch. The catch is made. Benny Fowler. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
Here's the 11 starters on defense for Buffalo. And the new coaching staff really coming in. They can look at 2 numbers, kind of yin and yang. They're good against the pass, 6th in the league, 29th, though, against the run.
Well, if you look at this new coaching staff that has taken over in Buffalo and trace their past, it starts with them stopping the run, because they are a very aggressive, blitz-happy type of a group, but it only begins with stopping the run first. So I expect that number to improve in 2017 for Buffalo.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Devontae Booker, 33 yards. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. A fake to McCoy. Now it's Taylor. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
Now McCoy. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a first down.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll run for it with Gillisley. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Give him 3 on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
A give. This is Bush. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. In motion, the tight end Clay. So now 3rd and goal. Will the defense bring some extra pressure here? And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal.
That was a big-time stop on 3rd down. Offensively, you'd love to tie the game up here, but 3 points might not be a disappointment.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal unit for the Bills, led by Dan Carpenter. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Carpenter knocks it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
And Denver getting set to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. On second down, Anderson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you described that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then because of
under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them, because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
And they'll indeed go for it with Lynch. Buying time to his left. Left side here to Sanders. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now a first down carry here from McCoy. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And on 2nd and 10 now. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And Denver getting set to take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it?
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So the sack on first down there by the defense. And now it's second down. One receiver left, 3 to the right. On second down, here's Taylor. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
And that is incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end. Now 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They'll indeed go for it. It's Taylor. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster. It all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Oh,
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect better.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take care of the big guy behind them. In this case, they let him down.
And how about this, a fake? And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a big play that time on the fake punt. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
A big play there out of the running game. 33 yards.
They gashed him in a big way on that last run, and defense fortunate to tackle him on the 2-yard line, but doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with the defense's plan. And that's the one thing the coordinator has to do and make sure the confidence stays high. Okay, sometimes you're going to get a big play against us. That doesn't mean we change everything and abandon our game plan, but now they have to stiffen and try and keep him out of the end zone.
Ball spotted at the 4. It's 2nd and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And McManus able to put it through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach, but it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. The Bills getting set to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that 2nd attempt. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here's Taylor to throw. It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And with that, it's 2-minute warning time here on the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Looking deep downfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down, Lynch out to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Marcel Darius able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. Lynch looking to throw on second. Flushed out right. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Got him in. He finds Sanders. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, 57 yards. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And the Bills' offense comes out ready to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
You know, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
They come up in an offset eye. Taylor will throw, and this will be incomplete. Charles Clay is tight end, the intended target. 3rd down here. Ten yards to go on 3rd. So the D-line's going to spread out. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. Again, it's Taylor. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down. Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Now Dan Carpenter. His career long is 60 yards, so he's got a big leg. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. It's really something. Even when he's hitting these from distance, big-time distance, he manages to put them right down the middle, doesn't he?
No doubt about that one. Never a doubt. And this is no extra point. That's 50-plus. And that's the definition of splitting the uprights.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the half. It's Lynch. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by... And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out Up come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams. Ooh. They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So the defense flinches, contact made, and the 5-yard penalty ensues. Following the penalty, Anderson. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Second and goal to go now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Bills' offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls...
And a loose football. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back. A call in luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. All right, different topic here. 2018, the Super Bowl, traveling north, far north to Minneapolis. Early predictions for that one. Who you got?
Well, you know, everyone's still waiting in the NFL for a home team to play in its home stadium, right? So could the Vikings be that team? I'll start in the NFC, and I'm going to say no. I think Seattle. starting to get near that maybe last run with their defense. But Earl Thomas returns. I like Seattle coming out of the NFC. How about you?
Well, I'm actually going to take a Dallas Cowboys NFC title run. I think that they came so close this year, probably most talented going into next year.
I like that one. Well, in the AFC, I'm going to go with a team that if they improve their defense and their quarterback stays healthy, they could be that team, the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, I'm going dark horse. Cleveland Browns. Let's go.
Hey, from worst to first.
He may try and run for this. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
And defensively, they had an extra defensive back on the field, their nickel package, and it made a difference. All the receivers were blanketed, so he tried to run for it, but he came up just a bit short.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth.
Let's go!
They'll indeed go for it. It's Taylor being chased out left. Going to drop this off to McCoy, complete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position.
All right, now, look at 56.
They come out here in the eye. Now Lynch on first down. Finding time. Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a fourth quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go-around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. That throw good for 4. It's second down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief, that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking the future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to face a third down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in the bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
It's a pickup of 21, and it's a first down for the Broncos. Shift together here from the D-line. On first down, it's Lynch. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they get 28 yards on that one. And the Broncos are going to have it first and goal. They come out here in the eye. On the ground, it's Thompson. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stock troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. C.J. Anderson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And the lead will grow by 1 more. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Bills.
Watch 85. Ball's going 85. Watch 85.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go back to the air here after the INT. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will stop right around the 25.